Hey all, Board Game Rants here where you'll find everything solo, tabletop gaming, and more. And the month of May is behind us. What I've been playing, what I've been thinking about it. Coming up, the MVP show. So last month, I mentioned how I'd hit 900 subscribers and I was, on the way to 1,000. And then I proceeded to make one video the entire month. It's not, exactly how one is going to grow their channel, especially if they're so pumped about it for like what seems like a second, and then they turn around and produce the opposite of what you would expect. But it's just testament, I think, to, I can't be the only one, just feeling off, quite frankly. And it's just a different world. And so I am in a bit of, I guess, what you would call turmoil. Nothing super crazy. You just imagine it's just what everybody's going through on some level. But it certainly affected my desire to just do certain things. And one of those things, just going on social media right now is a drain. First, it had like such a completely positive impact because it was how you could kind of stay connected in this pandemic world of ours. But then, at least here in the States, the United States is in a world of hurt right now. Big world of hurt. And it's hard to go on anything without just getting pummeled with negativity. And of course, if you click on it once, well, then the feed becomes, it just turns it at you. Because that's the way it kind of works. And I think it just has put it's just had a negative impact on my energy and desire to produce content. Because the thought of social media right now, it's not a good thought. And for me, and the fact that it's just turned my life upside down. I guess I'm getting just kind of some personal stuff here, so bear with me. I will get into the games that I'm talking about, what I thought about them, all that stuff. But I just feel like kind of clear the air here a little bit and express my appreciation again for all of you who stick around and deal with this willy-nilliness of mine and this lack of, I don't want to say lack of dedication, but lack of, what's the word I'm looking for? Discipline. That's the word I'm looking for. I just do what I feel like doing. And a little kind of like a big baby. Maybe to a fault. I just don't ever want to spend my time doing something I don't like doing. Like ever. Like at all. Like even in work. Nothing. Life is too short. And I feel like literally I spend almost the time I wake up to the time I go to bed just doing exactly what I want to do. Not what anybody else thinks I should be doing or what they want me to be doing. What I want to be doing. But right now, that is just a weird time, and it's got me feeling weird, and so I'm just doing weird shit. That's like rambling. Would you like to hear what I've been playing? So let's get after it, shall we? There's my insight into the life of Board Game Rants a little, if you were interested. If not, maybe I'll put a little something in the beginning of this video and say, if you want to get to the real cool stuff, zip up to here. Anyway, I played 41 games across 8 different games. 41 plays across 8 different games. And Killforth. I got one more game in of Killforth, which was my MVP of last month. Fantastic game. Easily going to be in the top 10 solo of the year. Loved it. And put it away, and knowing too that it's just not that difficult to just pop back out and play again anytime. It's very it reminds me a little bit of another game as far as the ease in which you can pull it out and the depth of the play though that you get to experience when you play it, and that is Renegade. I don't know, I had a desire to play Renegade. Renegade is a Richard Wilkins game. He is, Box of Delights is his, one of the very first real solo content providers, and just awesome, and has made some incredible variants, made an incredible game. I played Renegade 3 times, one of the coolest thematically abstract. I mean, the abstraction is the theme. It's just you playing a hacker trying to shut down the supermassive computer, which sets up differently each time, and your objectives are different each time, and just magnificent solo game. That is Renegade. Got 3 plays of that in. And played more Scythe solo. Got to play with my boys. I dragged them into playing a game, and then I just proceeded to crush them, and we haven't played since. So there was that. My bad. Love Scythe solo. Just, man, there's so much to that game, and it's a quick relearn, and just such a juicy looking game of like area control. And well, if you haven't heard of Scythe, I don't know where you've been in solo tabletop gaming, not solo, but just gaming in general. It's a top ranked board game, period, and well deserved is Scythe. There hasn't been much that has come out that has really impressed me anywhere close from Stonemaier Games since then, and I've been searching, and I will still keep, well, not almost, I think I'll keep picking up games from there, just because I do really believe in the designer, I do really believe in the company, and I think that it operates on a very high level of integrity, but I just wish something as good as Scythe for me would come out from that group, and it hasn't. But moving on, got 7 plays of that in, and I did play Under Falling Skies. Under Falling Skies was was pretty much the only print and play solo game that I saw the folks at Shut Up and Sit Down do a video on. They did a couple videos on, and I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed it a lot. Well, first I saw it and I was like, yeah, it looks like something I can get into. Then I played it. Definitely was something. And I did a full kind of tutorial playthrough on this. So I'll link that up there if you want to learn more about that game. And the fact that it's free, they are coming up with a full professional, all the pieces and snazzy stuff purchase, I believe this year. Anyway, enough on that. Under Falling Skies, I played that 5 times for a print and play solo game. Yeah, I had a blast with it. For the few times that I played with it anyway, it was a good time and well worth it. Another one, Empires of the North. I got 9 plays of this in, and I picked it up because I don't want to give up on this idea. It's in the world of Imperial Settlers, which is a game that I just didn't like. I tried to like it and tried again and again to like it, and just didn't like it. And same designer of 51st States and Robinson Crusoe, some games that I really enjoyed, but I just didn't take to Imperial Settlers. Empires of the North was a far better experience. And like I said, I played 9 times. Now you can play games quick with this, but it comes with like 6 different factions you can play with, and then 4 different solo scenarios, which do actually have points, like a point value that you're looking to beat. And then the difficulty level, if you want to call it, can be set by just playing with different factions, because the solo scenarios themselves, certainly they're easier to accomplish with certain factions and very difficult with others. And so that's the difficulty level, which is fine with me. In fact, I found it intriguing. But playing with all the different factions, they all had a good amount of difference to them. Nothing crazy like asymmetrical like Root or something, or even Too Many Bones, where all the different characters you can play are very different. But it was still different enough to feel like you had to definitely change your strategy and to work each faction to its optimal ability. Very good. I enjoyed Empires of the North far more than Imperial Settlers, and the fact that you can also go on and get some official print and play solo scenarios is very cool. And so there's a lot of content there for a very reasonably priced game and a very quick playing game. You can set it up quickly, and it looks cute. It's just fun. If you know anything about Imperial Settlers, that you would pick up on this game very quickly, or even 51st State. Yeah, good little solo tidbit there. Enjoyed it. And let's see here, moving on, Kingdom Death Monster. Kingdom Death, I talked a lot about that last month, played 6 more times. And when you say 6 more times, and you're talking about the time you put into painting figures and putting them together, and well, I think we put one more together. My wife, I should say. I did a little more painting. And you're playing through a lantern year, which involves basically 3 phases, which can take hours per game. So many hours more did I spend playing Kingdom Death. Just found it a little discouraging. There's the Gorm expansion that I really want, because I just wanted a different, you start and you basically fight this lion, and it's just sort of the lion. I wanted the Gorm expansion so that you have a different alternative to start with, and it's not available. And then you look over a lot of the expansions and they are not available. A lot of stuff isn't available. And so that was kind of frustrating, but so be it. I still think the game is like no game I've ever experienced before. And yeah, it is high level hobby gaming, and takes some real stick-to-itiveness. You got to have a lot of time on your hands, and some funds, if you will, because it ain't cheap. And I would suggest too checking out one of my favorite new solo content providers that has really just been skyrocketing, is Mark at Not Bored Gaming. Not Bored, Bored, Not Bored Gaming. I would go check out that channel, especially with me in some weird flux that I am, and you never know if I'm going to put out any new shit or not. Check him out. He is awesome. He has just a great presence and does fantastic videos. He did a full one on KDM, Kingdom Death Monster. It's his favorite solo game ever. And but this guy's only been solo gaming for, I don't know, over a year and a half or something like that. He just kind of got into it, and he's really into it, and he does a fantastic job. Very articulate, very entertaining. I trust his reviews, which I've just become less trusting over time with reviews, because just seems to be a world in which all games are great, with a couple of little nitpicky stuff. That's just kind of everybody's way of describing games anymore. And anyway, there's just not that many great games. There really aren't. And I love his style. I love what he is, what he's saying, and what he says about Kingdom Death Monster 2. He's just great. He's a fantastic resource. Check him out. That's Mark at Not Bored Gaming to learn more, especially about Kingdom Death Monster. Last couple here. Too Many Bones. I played Too Many Bones. I got a ton of expansion material for Too Many Bones, and so I need to work through it. And I am right now. I'm actually recording this, a week into the month of June. So I've played a lot of Too Many Bones and a lot of the expansion material that came out. More to say on that. Too Many Bones would be, if I had to pick a top 10 of all time, 1, Mage Knight would be in it. 2, not saying it would be number 2, but Too Many Bones and that world of Too Many Bones would, I have to say, I know it would make the top 10 of all time as far as solo gaming is concerned. The whole Too Many Bones franchise. It's remarkable, and I've been enjoying getting to know it again, and this expansion material, which is Splice and Dice, and then 2 expansion characters, 2 more gear locks you can play with. I've now tried them all, and more to say on that. I don't want to spoil that. That's for June. And but prior to June, I got 2 games of Too Many Bones in, and it just reminded me, why I should never ever put that game away, because it's just that good. Moving on, again, there's not so much of a disappointment here this week, or this month, and a lot of times I come up with a disappointment. I don't know, the most disappointment I felt, I guess, was just that there was no expansions for Kingdom Death Monster, which maybe even be kind of why, it's not my MVP of this month. I don't know. Because my MVP of this month is Core Space. Core Space, another hobby game, like nothing I've ever played. It's 3-dimensional. You're setting up these walls and doors and these layouts. You can play it scenario based, and you've got your characters, and your characters, start off with very few skills and very, sort of like all games, that I enjoy, these role playing games where you build up your character, but in this 3D environment and with this rule set that allows you to play however you want. It kind of it reminds me a little Kingdom Death Monster. Not Kingdom Death Monster. Killforth, the Killforth series. I talked over and over again about how I found it so interesting. There was this set of rules, but you could just manipulate this and that and this to tweak it to your taste, and that's what Core Space allows you to do as well. But Core Space is heavier because of the amount of things that you can do. I mean, you can literally live in this 3D world, move your characters around, and whatever you want to do. Some bad guys are coming, just try to rip this sign off the wall and beat them over the head with it if you don't have a good weapon on you. Or you might jump into cover because of some skill you've got. That cover is going to, they're going to try to shoot you now, but now you've got to get down. You got to kind of look to see line of sight and decide, okay, they're going to roll this many dice, but only this many hits are going to go through. Oh, didn't go through. Oh, maybe they blew up this console that I was hiding behind while they tried to shoot at me. Did they? Yes, they did. So now that console's gone. You just pull it right off there. Now they've got a clean shot at you. You got... and you can leap through windows. First, you got to bust them out with your elbow or something using an effortless action. Then you can try to jump through, but you may not. You might catch yourself on the glass. You might bump your head on the through. You might be too big to fit through the window. You don't know. You roll the dice, you find out, and all the while, every round there's going to be an event to draw that's going to change stuff. There's this hostility tracker that goes up, sort of like a threat tracker, of any other kind of game where you're playing solo and there's some sort of AI against you. There's as time goes, bigger and badder things come out and come after you. And each mission has an objective, and you can go for that objective, or you don't have to. Or if you can tell you're not going to make it, it's more important to save your crew and not have to, and if they die and you make it, one person makes back and another person is just, laying prone out there dead, you can send a rescue mission after them. And if you've managed, sometimes you can find a shuttle and you can shuttle your way in and just drop it. It's just, and it all, there's a big curve in learning it. The manual for the basic is big. And it takes a lot to digest. And then while you're playing it, it's sort of trying to remember all this stuff and remember all the things you can do. But then you just start to kind of sit and live in it while you're playing it. And your imagination is the only thing that limits you as far as what you can do. And you can typically find something. It's not that you have to make up rules on the fly. There's an advanced rule book that you can pick up. And I picked up almost all the expansions for this now. I think there's a couple crew sets that I don't have. But I have overwhelmingly almost all the material. There's just different bad guys you can bring into the game, and there's this infection type of infestation campaign that you can play. But you can also play this one that's the Perseus Arm, I think is what it's called. It's all based in outer space. It's all sci-fi. But there's a lot of story that you can get into, and a lot of lore. And then there's the Purge. The Purge are the bad guys. The Purge kind of come in and they're sort of taking over and they're swiping people and doing some terrible things with them, we guess. But there's a Purge crew that I haven't even got into this expansion, but a Purge crew that goes rebel and becomes kind of a crew that you can play. It unlocks a whole new set of skills and just, it's immense. It's just immense what you can do with this game. And again, it takes up a lot of time. If you want to paint your characters too, especially, it takes some more time. And setting up does take time. It is one of those games where, each scenario that you're playing, you got to set up your walls and stuff, but I enjoy it. You put it together, and while you're putting it together, this world kind of unfolds in front of you, and then you get to play in it. Just remarkable. Fantastic stuff. Core Space, I got 8 more plays of that in. It's still up. I'm still playing it. I got more plays in this month. Be talking about that more. There's so much more for me to discover in that game, and it's just and it looks beautiful too. It's just a gorgeous looking game with lots of fun little pieces to move all over the place. So there you have it. That's what I've been doing this past month. A little bit about how I've been feeling if you hung in there for that first part. I hope that you are doing as well as you possibly can be. And as I kind of mentioned in a video when all this was starting to go down, on the other side of all this is always something better. Or at least there's always that opportunity to grow with all of the dysfunction, especially here in the States. I feel still very lucky, very fortunate to be an American, to live in the United States of America. I've experienced some times where I've found it hard to feel proud to be an American. I can only imagine what the world thinks of us right now. But the one thing is that I'm holding to, that I have so much belief in, is that the way our democracy was put together way back when, that we constantly try and go back to, even though leaders at the top try and get away from it, it's still there. And I think that it will still help throughout all of this chaos. It's that true north principle, that compass that we're still aiming for. And while we're really off course right now, on the other side of all that is a better U.S. I believe in my country. I believe in its people. Having a difficult time having a lot of faith in our leadership right now, but that leadership does change with the voice of its people. So I remain optimistic, and I hope wherever you are, you're remaining optimistic with me, and you're playing some good solo tabletop games. Till next time, thank you so much for watching. I'm Board Game Rants, and I'm out. And I forget to mention, if you are interested in what I'm doing on kind of at least weekly, and sometimes I put out these podcasts more often than not, very up to date, and to see what I'm playing if you want to learn more about solo tabletop gaming. That's my very appropriately named podcast, Board Game Rants.